Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here and welcome to the birth of our investors program. My name is Sergio Saez. I'm the cluster manager at SECPHO, and with my colleague Sabine, we will be presenting you this session. Let's take a look at the agenda. Let me see if I can move it. Okay. Well, we will start after this welcome with our special guest. The opening speech will be done by Jose Luis Gomez from Bullnet Capital. Thank you, Jose Luis, for being here with us. And after that, after this opening speech, we will give our presentation of the new investors program of SECPHO.
Thank you for inviting us to give this brief talk. Just to show you what we do at Bullnet and how we approach deep tech investing. I have prepared this brief slide set basically to talk to you about what is Bullnet and what we do, what is our view on deep tech companies, and which is our model, and to finish with two success stories about investments that we have done. First one, Focus, a company that was acquired in 2014, and Twice Vision, a more recent investment. Okay, so basically about Bullnet, we are a Spanish independent venture capital firm established in 2001. Bullnet was founded by Javier Ulecia and Miguel del Cañizo, and the team has grown, and now we are a team of 6 people. We have at this moment 3 funds under management: Bullnet Capital 1 with 18 million euros, Bullnet Capital 2, 28, and our last fund that we are investing at this moment, Bullnet Capital 3, with 43 million. And we have made since inception 18 investments. Okay, so the average has been 1 per year. So as you can see, we make a few investments because the average is below 1 since the incorporation of the firm in 2001. And we have had several exits. For instance, Netspira Networks, which was the first investment with the first fund that was sold to Ericsson, and Focus, about which I will tell you a bit more later. Company sold to E2V. E2V was a British firm that was afterwards acquired by Teledyne. Oncovision is of which the preclinical imaging business was sold to Bruker. Scilabs sold to Samsung, and our last exit, which has been Codice Software, that was acquired by Unity, a software vendor, last year. And our focus is mainly oriented towards deep tech companies. Okay, companies in the IT space or in closely related fields, such as computer software and artificial intelligence, semiconductors and electronic systems, and also photonics and quantum technologies. Okay, we do not invest in biotech companies, compounds, molecules, and things like that. So, about deep tech companies, what we look for in our investments. Essentially, we look for companies that have disruptive, proprietary, innovative technologies. Okay, and in most of these cases, or in some cases, but not always, these companies are university spin-offs or come from research centers. And basically, what we also look for is founding teams that have a solid technical background and deep expertise in their field. It's not uncommon to see PhD holders in the founding team, but also not only scientists, but also people with some kind of entrepreneurial spirit. Okay, in many cases, we have seen people coming from the academia that had spent many years doing R&D in a specific field, and at some point in their career, they say, "Well, I think that what we have been doing for these years might have industrial applications." So these people decide to incorporate a company, create a business, and create a spin-off. And it's also necessary for these projects to be successful that the founders are not only scientists, but also are some kind of business people at heart. Okay. The deep tech is at least what we look in these companies, as I said, is proprietary technologies that are difficult to replicate by third parties. It's just not a matter of protecting or legally protecting the IP or the research, but also we look for some kind of intrinsic difficulty in the problems that these companies solve and their products, so that no matter how much effort a third party or a potential competitor might put into the problem, they might not be able to solve it in a reasonable amount of time. Okay, so as I say here, technology is difficult to replicate by third parties, regardless of how much money is thrown into the problem. And also important about these companies is that they usually have long time to market and sales cycles, lack of commercial references, and in many cases also lack of product market fit. So in this sense, we are perhaps a bit different from other investors that might invest, I don't know, in software as a service or things like that, in which they look for, well, some kind of a business model already tested, metrics, product market fit. So in many cases, at least in our experience, we see teams that have really deep technical knowledge and expertise, that have prototypes, but they may have not defined yet their business cases or the verticals they want to address. So we try to help them with that process. So our model, as I said, is oriented to doing not too many investments. We have made just below an average of one investment during the last 20 years. But that also has some advantages, okay? Because we can provide to the companies the necessary funding, longer, as I say, well, longer runways, and it allows us to do follow-on investment rounds and attract money from third parties, other potential investors. And also it allows us to dedicate a lot of time to our companies, okay, and try to help them, well, not only providing money, but also helping them from the business perspective. So what we do is essentially some kind of a strategic consultancy, and also help the companies in the negotiation of contracts, partnerships, IP licensing, facilitating synergies with other companies in the portfolio, hiring people, etc. Also, as we do not do too many investments, we like to dedicate a lot of time, or relatively a lot of time, to the due diligence process. I mean, knowing the people, knowing the business, understanding everything, and also letting the founders know us as well. That in order to make sure that once we become partners, we are we will all be aligned and all contribute to the success of the business, okay? And our typical deal consists in investing between 2 and 5 million euros per project in the form of equity, taking minority stakes. We invest, or up till now, we have invested only in companies that are incorporated and based in Spain, and also, well, have a presence in the board of directors and establish the typical rights to protect the minority shareholders. So, well, one success story of what we have been doing in the last years was Anafocus. Anafocus is a developer of vision systems on chip for several applications, industrial, surveillance, and scientific. This company was founded in 2000 as a spin-off of CSIC, which is the Spanish Research Council, and they came also from the University of Seville. The initial purpose of the company was to develop chips, vision systems on chip, based on convolutional neural networks. So they were doing what is now called deep learning and all that stuff 20 years ago. So very innovative at the moment. And after as I say, a relatively long due diligence period of 1 year, we invested in the company in July 2003. And well, the company grew up to reaching more than 50 employees in 2014, and was acquired by E2B. E2B that was later acquired by Teledyne, and since that moment, Anafocus leads the development of the image sensors division of Teledyne from Spain. And And this is Twice Vision, is a more recent investment that we have made with our third fund. This company develops this device that you can see here. It's a simulator of intraocular lenses. Okay, the intraocular lens is the lens that is implanted in the patient when a cataract or presbyopia surgery is made. So this company was founded in 2015 by two researchers from the Institute of Optics of CSIC, people that had a lot of experience in human vision and doing research in this area. The company is based in Madrid, and they develop just this product. This product is, as I said, the simulator of intraocular lenses. This is a see-through device, so it's some kind of a helmet. You put it on your head, and it allows the patient and the doctor to, well, to experience how they will see once a specific kind of lens is implanted. That all before surgery. So it allows the patient and the doctor to decide which is the best lens for that specific case. The company has been developing the product since well, even before incorporating. So it's in a relatively mature stage from the technical point of view, and is at the moment initiating its first sales. So this is pretty much everything and what we do. And Sergio, if you want, you can go on.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Jose Luis. You are our special guest today because Bullnet has been investing in several companies of our ecosystem along the last years. Some years ago, you were the only venture capital who were investing in this kind of hardware ventures, deep tech, and mostly photonics, but others. And we are very happy to have you here in the day that we are launching our investors program. Thank you very much, Jose Luis.
Yeah, thank you, Sergio.
Okay, now we will continue with the next part of the presentation. Let me see here. Okay. As we said in the agenda, we are now going on with the presentation of our investors program. But first of all, most of the people who are registered here today don't know us, don't know SECPHO. And the question that they have in their mind is, what about SECPHO? What's SECPHO? No? Well, I will try before Sabine starts explaining the program in a few words to explain you what SECPHO is. No? We are a dynamic ecosystem born 12 years ago at the beginning promoting technological innovation through photonic technologies mainly, but during the last 4 or 5 years, little by little, we started promoting innovation through other technologies, not only photonic technologies, because the members of our ecosystem were little by little learning and developing new systems, more complex systems, not only depending on photonic technologies, but depending on other areas of the technology. SECPHO is very transversal. We are helping them to apply these technologies, capabilities in all sectors of our economy. But mainly today, nowadays, we say that we are deep tech. And what is deep tech for those investors who are not, who don't know very well what does it mean? Deep tech are technologies based on substantial scientific advances and high-tech engineering innovation. Mainly, there are 4 aspects that make the difference between this kind of technologies and other ITs, other technologies. First of all is the long R&D process that with a long go-to-market period. There is a long time of time dedicated to research, to make patents, etc., until you can arrive to the market. And sorry, I had some problem. Okay, I was here. And second, there is a large amount of capital needed. First, in the earliest stages of research, public funding mainly, but when these technologies are arriving in the market, they need private investment, and that's the reason that we are now launching this investment program. And another aspect is that all these technologies are very well protected. The IP is well protected. There are not only one, but sometimes there are several patents under one idea, under one innovation process. Then what we have is a group of different technologies: photonic technologies, artificial intelligence, quantum computing, advanced materials, microelectronics, robotics, drones, biotechnology, blockchain, who has these aspects behind, a long path to the market, R&D well protected, and a lot of capital needed, private and public funding for arriving to the market. What else? We are more than 160 members in our ecosystem. We are an ecosystem of scientists, of entrepreneurs, of companies, medium size, big companies too. And from today onwards, also investors on it. You can discover SECPHO's ecosystem going to our website. All these companies are deep tech companies or deep tech spin-offs, or people working in research centers in Spain. More or less, we have 30, 40 of the most well-known research centers in Spain in different areas. What's this? These 160 entities have more or less 700 experts in deep tech. We are working with them in the universities, in the companies that are launching every year around 160 patents per year and 2,600 scientific publications, more or less. These are some figures for you to understand what's about our ecosystem. What we do, we transform the present because we are trying to connect these technologies with different markets, mainly these 9 markets, but not only them. Industry 4.0, healthcare, smart cities, food security, mobility, energy, new space, several markets where our ecosystem have big from one point of view, a lot of capabilities to develop new projects, but most of them have now products to launch to the market. We say that we transform in the present because these new technologies or these new companies, spin-offs, are focusing the deep tech to achieve the sustainable development goals. That's because we are talking about transforming. But what we do at SECPHO is connecting people. This is the SECPHO, this is what the ecosystem and all my team is working every day about connecting researchers, startups, technological companies, end users, connecting with the industry, with market, to launch new projects, connecting with the public administrations to get funding, public funding, to advance TRLs with the technology, and now connecting also with the investors. And that's because, that's the reason that because today we are presenting our investors program. And that's a few words about SECPHO. If you want to know more about our ecosystem, please ask me. But today, the idea is to present our investors program. And then Sabine.
Yes.
The floor is yours.
Thank you, Sergio. Yes. Hello, everyone. I'm really happy to be here with all of you to present you the new program for investment in deep tech by SECPHO. Let me share my screen, and then we can get started. Hi. Okay. Okay. So, yeah. As Sergio already introduced, we at SECPHO, we connect people, and one of our targets are investment professionals, like many of you that are here with us today. So we are really happy that you show interest in our program, and we really think that it is needed in our ecosystem here in Spain. And not only in Spain, also outside of Spain, because deep tech has really such a high potential to offer a dramatic improvement over current technologies. But we need large efforts, large amount of capital, and we need to collaborate between all the key players to really bring these niche technologies to light. And that's our main goal, right? So we want to bridge the gap between the investors, between researchers, between our deep tech entrepreneurs. And therefore we have developed this program for investment in deep tech. And our points that we will talk about today is our target, the benefits, services, and we will give you a little preview as a surprise of our new virtual platform, Secpholand. So one of our claims is investing in deep tech is easier than you think, because we really want to kind of close the gap a little bit from towards deep tech and really bring it closer to everyone, raise awareness about deep tech, educate about deep tech, and that's why we say it's easier than you think. As some of you might know, deep tech is a global phenomenon. It's growing worldwide, and the private investment in these technologies has skyrocketed. So we had in global private investment in deep tech has been growing by 20% every year since 2015. There are more than 30 companies from our ecosystem are currently seeking 40 million euros in funding. And we have 18 success stories of startups that received private investments over the last 5 years in our deep tech ecosystem. So who do we address? Well, first of all, we address all different kinds of professionals in the investment field. That means business angels, venture capital, and private equity firms, lawyers, consultants, and other service providers. But we're not only targeting those who are specialized in deep tech, like we had our guest here with us from Brunet Capital. We are also want to address those of you who don't know deep tech well yet, who would like to learn more about deep tech. And that's also our mission, to increase the number of investors who are interested and who might change their strategy towards deep tech. And we want help to accelerate this process, right? So on the other hand, you might think, okay, but SECPHO is based in Spain, so you're probably only targeting Spanish investors. But this is not the case, because we really see the need to connect investors at an international level, as there's such a large amount of deep tech, of investment needed in deep tech. We really see the need to connect investors between each other. So in order to get the sufficient capital, I know there are some international investors finding good opportunities here in Spain, but they are lacking key investors who are from Spain as local lead investor. So we would like to change that in future and hope that this program can help to improve this situation. What we offer you? We offer you a diversified portfolio, because at SECPHO we can offer you more than 60 different areas of applications through different deep tech. So there are so many, it's such as these technologies are so transversal and can be applied in so many different areas that it can really diversify the portfolio. And we know that it's getting more and more important to be competitive, no, for venture capitalists, for private equity firms, for business angels to yeah, all of them are seeking to get their stake in the game right before things take off, and we try to help you getting to know these opportunities, these take-off opportunities, to stay competitive. On the other hand, we generate quality deal flow because we really have a close connection to startups and spin-offs in our ecosystem. We see them grow from the leading R&D and technology centers from the universities of Spain, and we follow them along the long research cycle before they become a spin-off, before the startup gets founded, right? So we really want to make sure that we generate quality deal flow and can offer you viable and solid opportunities. On the other hand, as I said, we want to connect investors between each other in order to really improve and the number of investments in deep tech in general. And we really think that it is important to not only collaborate inside our ecosystem in Spain, but really to collaborate internationally in order to accelerate the innovations to deep tech, as they have such a great potential for our society. No? We want to help to have a better visibility and positioning in the ecosystem. As I said again, for us, we are aware of the fact that it is a very competitive field, so we really want to help you to get access to all these innovation leaders in the ecosystem. We offer a deep tech radar and really give you the opportunity to be up to date to the newest technologies and developments to the news that are arising in our ecosystem. And last but not least, we offer expert advice, because deep tech investment requires vision, trust, patience, and these are the characteristics that you can find in our ecosystem, that what SECPHO's ecosystem stands for. And so we really are convinced that surrounding yourself with the best experts in deep tech here in Spain can help to improve your investment success. And yes, we have like 700 experts, researchers, leading researchers, and deep tech companies that are at your disposal in order to help giving advice. Let's imagine you get an opportunity in the integrated photonics field, and you have difficulties in at the moment of validating that opportunity at that company. So we could connect you with our experts of integrated photonics in Valencia, and they might help you to get an idea of this, if this opportunity is viable or not. And yeah, this will for sure help you in the validation process. Our program in a nutshell. So along the year, what we offer you is different kind of activities and services, right? So first of all, we will offer you ongoing communication about milestones of the startups from our ecosystem, about the deep tech deal flow, so-called deep flow. We will offer deep tech training. We will offer investors day, pitching sessions, and continuous services, as I just mentioned. So I will go into detail. Our training is foreseen along 3 days that will be divided into 3 hours per day. And we will really want to give insights on one hand about the deep tech life cycle, about the convergence approach in comparison to the surface technologies. We will present case studies and real investment cases on state-of-the-art deep tech divided by technologies. It means we will have case studies from the photonics field, from the quantum computing field, from biotechnology, and so on, with the help of our experts, of our members, of also of deep tech investors who have experience, in order to help those investors who are less experienced in this field to get a better idea of what the difference is, and how it gets easier and how it can be more approachable to invest in deep tech, and also to really find out what the challenges are, right, and how we can help to overcome these challenges. On the other hand, we offer networking with investors and scientific experts in different deep tech application fields, and we will finalize with recommendations for private investments in deep tech. Then we will also organize an Investors Day, which will be one day to dive into the deep blue ocean. So during that day, we will have a roundtable with some of the deep tech investors to talk about how we can facilitate investing in deep tech, and not only deep tech investors, as well the companies, because we need to know what they need, right, to make it easier. On the other hand, we will talk about, we will present all the investors that are there with us, so you can also get to know each other among yourselves. We will have the elevator pitchings by the different deep tech startups, different pitching sessions, and of course, there will be opportunities to have private meetings between the investors and the startups, and networking opportunities as well. We will organize pitching sessions along the year, and these sessions will really take place on a regular basis, depending on the startup's needs. So we last month we organized a pitching session just with a couple of investors and one of our startups. We might organize a session next time with several startups together. That depends a little bit on the needs that we have, right? That our startups have, and of course there will be also the opportunity to talk to the startups, to ask your questions, to have, if you want, private meetings. Yes. And these sessions we foresee really to be on to the point in 1 or 2 hours, to not steal anybody's time. On the other hand, as I mentioned, we will have a continuous communication to the investment professionals that are part of our program. We will share quality deal flow of our deep tech startups on a periodic basis. And on the other hand, will constantly ask our startups to share their latest milestones with us in order for you to follow the startup's growth, to really stay close to our startup ecosystem and see when things are happening. And as I mentioned already earlier, there will be our continuous services such as a deep tech radar, the visibility and positioning. We are, for instance, already in touch with some media partners like SIFTed, in order to, as they are interested in having interviews with investors from Spain that are investing in deep tech, to see what are their recommendations, which startups we should look out for in future, right? So we really want to help you as well to position yourself in the ecosystem. And as mentioned, expert advice, connection with other investors. So this will be an ongoing process. We have a very dynamic agenda. We will organize virtual fairs, in technological showcases, technological congresses, all at international level. And we can offer you as well networking opportunities among investors in these different application fields, such as our agri-food, our agri-food for industry virtual fair, or our artificial intelligence congress. So we give opportunities as well to connect there with others interested in these fields. And on the other hand, the members of our investors program will also have access to our Open Innovation Club, where we gather large companies. We have over 25 members, such as Nestle, who else? Telefonica, SEAT, Continental, and so on. So we really want to connect you as well with these executives from large companies who are leading the rankings and investment nowadays, right? And who are open to work with startups, to stay close to the newest innovations, to integrate new technological innovation in their companies. And I think that's as well a great opportunity for you to stay connected. Of course, we hope that soon we will be able to organize again some nice in-person activities like that Open Innovation Leaders Summit on a catamaran that we had organized in 2018. We organized a cocktail in 2019, and then unfortunately we were not able last year to organize our Open Innovation Club Leaders Cocktail in Madrid due to COVID. So let's hope we can organize something next year in person, and this year in Secpholand. Yeah, so as I said, our program is adapted to all investment professionals, and here you get an idea about the rates. There's a lower rate for business angels. We know, of course, you look for large amounts of deep tech, and some of you might say, yeah, the chances rather low that there will be a business angel investing in deep tech, but there are business angels investing in deep tech, especially at the early stage. So we wanted to offer that chance to enter the program. There's a rate from 125 euros per month for venture capital and private equity firms. And we offer not all of our services, but most of the services, because of we assume that the deep tech radar and the deep tech training might not be necessary for the lawyers, consultants, and other providers. So therefore, we offer you a lower rate. And if some of you prefer to choose a one-off service, you can also just reserve like the deep tech training, Investors Day, or the pitching session separately. And now I wanted to mention one more thing before we go over to Secpholand. So you can sign up for our program on our website, click on the button Join Our Ecosystem. And we offer all the investment professionals that are here with us today to sign up for a 3 months trial period, because we understand it's also, you might ask like, yeah, I'm not sure if I want to pay that money because we don't know what SECPHO and this program is about. So we really want to offer you the chance to make yourself an idea, to get some personal experience and impressions, how dynamic our ecosystem is and what we can offer you. And then after 3 months, by the end of May, you can decide if you want to stay with us or not. Yeah, so let's talk about Secpholand as well. Since the end of 2019, we have started developing a virtual platform, a virtual collaborative platform, because as Sergio mentioned, we have members all over Spain distributed, and it can be really difficult to connect members from northern Spain, from Vigo, with someone from Madrid and someone from Sevilla and in the south, right? So we really wanted to find a way to connect all the members, all these 700 people that are behind the 160 entities, right? Because as we said, for us, it's really important to focus on collaboration between people. And that's why we got the idea to develop Secpholand. Then the pandemic hit us, and we became aware of this even bigger need to develop such a platform in order to stay connected. And we are really happy to launch this platform next month on the 12th of April. So stay tuned. We will have all, as I mentioned, a great agenda ahead with many different and diverse events. And there will be also some events and virtual spaces for the investors and investment professionals in Secpholand. So this is Secpholand. I took this picture today in the morning when it was still dark. You can see a little drone flying around as well. And this is our investment forum. So we really invite you to enter once we have released Secpholand and make yourself comfortable and feel at home. So what we will offer in Secpholand, we will have virtual pitching auditorium. We will have this virtual meeting room where we can organize smaller pitching sessions or other connecting sessions between investors and startups. And we offer all the investors who are part of our investment program to have their own virtual office in Secpholand, which can be personalized with the brand identity. So of course you can replace these SECPHO logos and put your own one, and have a link to your website and so on, and hold private meetings in your virtual office. This platform will not only be open to the members of our ecosystem, it will be also open to invitees. So of course, others can enter with a limited access. And yes, we thought it might be nice not only to show you some pictures, but to actually enter. And that's what we're going to do now. So now we see Secpholand by day. Please ignore the numbers up here. This will disappear because this is kind of an internal version, right? But you can see a little bit how Secpholand, the central place, looks like. We have a cafeteria here, a train station, our auditorium, the investment forum, a meeting center. There's also a shop where you can buy things. You can. We have a kiosk where you can look at our technological magazine Light, for instance. And let's go to the investment forum. Yes, so that's me. As it is sunny today in Secpholand, I put on my sunglasses as well. And I can show you around a little bit. So this is the auditorium. On my right side, we see the cafeteria from further behind. And there's actually Sergio behind me. So I will go a bit closer to Sergio. So when you are here, you can actually click on the person's profile. You can see the personal profile, the company's profile, or let's see the entity's profile, right? I could call Sergio, I could send him a message, and usually there would be a button to connect with him, but as we are colleagues, we are already connected. So let's go inside and have a look. So just takes a moment. Here you see our investment hall. Right now, we have also a podcast area. So we will be able to share podcasts like from Lab to Market with Benjamin Joffre, like the Deep Dive podcast from the High-Tech Gründerfonds from Germany, like the K-Fund podcast here from Spain. And we are happy to share the podcasts of our members, to share podcasts about inspiring startups from the deep tech field as well. We thought that's a nice place to relax and get inspired. And then we have our different offices. So this could be one of your virtual private office, where you can sit down. I can say, I want to sit down here and have a meeting, right? So you can really use that space as your private office space for private meetings. And then we have different meeting rooms, and I wanted to show you our pitching room, where as soon as I enter this room as well, I'm connected to the audio. I can turn on my microphone. I can hear others talking as it would be in real life. And I can see my colleague Ivan there presenting, and we can share the presentations of our startups there in future. So we're really excited to have our pitching sessions here, our Investors Day, and to start using Secpholand next month. And yeah, that's it.